Right, Talioto champs, and yes, this changes everything. I haven't been able to commit to an M1 Mac just because for what I do, pretty much, I have to use Premiere, stuff like that. And yeah, the M1 Macs run in Rosetta. It's not ideal. It's not what you want to do. But here we have Photoshop beta, Premiere Pro beta, Audition beta, and Premiere Rush. Apple Silicon, not only just beta, Apple Silicon native, okay? So this changes everything for me because now I can actually commit to an M1 Mac if I want to. If the performance is there, well, we're going to find out today. Is the performance there? And guys, make sure you subscribe because I do have my 1 month review on this and I went all native. I only used native apps for 1 month and I'll tell you how I went with that. And yeah, stay tuned for that. If we just have a look here at what's new, this is the beta thing, all caught up, all the changes. If we have a look here, it's workflow, templates, blah, blah, blah. But here we go, H.264 HEVC export improvements for Mac. Now it says in development. So this is early stages, but I can tell you it does hit the GPU and it is fast, okay? Bear in mind what we're dealing with here. This is the MacBook Air. It has 7 GPU cores, not 8. It's the base model, only 8 gigabytes of RAM. So performance should be better in the 8-core GPU models and 16 gigs will always help out. But the performance on this, just the base model MacBook Air, is, wow, you're going to see it. So this is my sample project I test pretty much every sort of PC on. And, it was only until recently that it sort of ran on integrated graphics at all. Like you can run this on integrated graphics like Intel 11th generation. If you take away, say for example, the LUT there, it'll work. And this is 4K, by the way. This project is 4K, has a LUT applied, and if we have a look here, you can see there is some color adjustment and a LUT applied there. Okay, so it's all there. And have a look at this, all right? So the Macs have always been the scrub master, even in Premiere Pro, right? Macs have always been the scrub master. Look at this. Woof. Look at that. Whoa, look how fast and smooth that is. Scrub master. Only 8 gigs RAM. 7, GPU cores. Base model. Woof. Wasn't like that under Rosetta, I can tell you right now. And integrated graphics, forget about it. You're not going to do that on, Intel 11th generation or even the Radeon graphics on the 4800U or something like that. Forget about it. This is like a discrete graphics, the performance of that. That scrubbing, this is 4K, LUT, color correction. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now that's not where it ends. Now this is a 4K timeline, but I'll just add a bit of 6K content. Alright, so now I'll add some 6K content. Alright, so this is not 4K, this is still a 4K timeline, but this is 6K content. Let's just scale that footage down to just fit in a 4K frame there. So now let's see how the scrubbing is. I'll remind you, this is 6K and scrubbing, no problems. HEVC is no problem on this, and this is HEVC. ProRes the same. It doesn't scrub like the 4K, like the butter machine here. But still, with 8 gigs of RAM, that is still nice and smooth. Actually, I'd say it is pretty much the same as that. It's just not much movement in there, I guess. But no problems there. So let's see if it plays back this footage now. Look here for the green indicator and let's see. I'll just turn that down. It plays back 4K content, H.264, LUT, color correction applied, all this, no problems. Now integrated graphics will struggle to do that. Even 11th generation will struggle to do that. It can do it, but you have to. Oh, what do we got here? Right on cue. This is why, it's beta, all right? Don't send. I reckon that issue is because of RAM. So I'll open up Premiere Pro again. do stay tuned because I do have the 1 month review of this MacBook Air and I went all native. All I done for the whole month was use native apps, and now I'm actually using native Premiere Pro. So this changes everything, as I said before. Let's see if we can play back that HEVC content. I don't know what that crash was all about. You can see here it's, it's back to normal. But now let's see if we can play back 6K HEVC. So this is, fairly compressed 6K HEVC. This scrubs this 6K HEVC in Final Cut, no problem. And you can see there, no, it's scrubbing all right. Let's just see if it plays it. Okay, so that's a bridge too far at the moment. They've still got to do some sort of upgrades to, enhance the performance of the playback there, because in Final Cut that plays back the HEVC content 6K no problem, but in Premiere no. But here you can see how nice and smooth it is. Okay, so export times. Now you got to remember this is integrated graphics. This takes 18 minutes on the 11th generation, XPS 13 or even like the MSI, Evo Prestige. Takes around 18-19 minutes to export this timeline. This M1 Mac with 7 GPU cores, only 8 gigs of RAM, 6 minutes and 52. Wow, that's H.264. If I export it to H.265, it's 6 minutes and 51, virtually the same. And they said they're still working on this. So that's in the notes of the actual, this release of this Premiere Pro. So it should get better. And if you've got 8 GPUs, it does hit the GPU there. You should get better performance with more RAM, the extra GPU core, etc. This is a great start. And now, this changes everything. I can probably switch to an M1 Mac. All right, the HEVC performance isn't that great. Now it does play back ProRes, I can assure you of that. So 6K ProRes, no problem. It should play back ProRes, no problem. So if we were to compare this to, say, the MacBook Pro 16, that does it in like 3-4 minutes, right? This is twice as fast as this. But this is Premiere Pro. Final Cut's going to be a different story, MacBook Pro speed compared to, M1 Max. But in Premiere Pro, still the MacBook Pro 16 is about twice as fast as this. But before Adobe done that big update where they started using the GPU, etc., this sort of 6-7 minute render here is faster than those laptops when they didn't have that, NVENC and, GPU encoding in Premiere Pro. So it was as fast as those 15, 16, 17-inch laptops, those beasts with, dedicated graphics and that. Before they got the latest update with the GPU encoding, this was as fast as those. So that's quite amazing. The performance here, it's real. And even in Premiere Pro now, I can, use this as an editing machine and the renders aren't going to kill me. There's a big difference between 7 minutes and the 18, 19 minutes you're going to get with any other sort of integrated graphics solution. So it's more than twice as fast as any other integrated graphics solution. And it's only going to get better. MacBook Pro 16, more cores, more GPU, more CPU, M1X, M2. I'm really excited now. I can maybe move to one of these. So we'll see how we go there. I'll catch you in the next one. Tally ho.